All right, so today I'm going to be giving you my observations as well as my overall review of Arturia Audio's X8 in and X8 out. So I've had these units for a little over a month at this point, and I've utilized them in many different capacities, from mic preamps to incorporating outboard hardware, which you can see that I've been working on lately here with these units here. A video coming up really talking about the mastering analog stage, or at least some suggestions, or talk about some of the gear used here. But I ran all of these through Arturia's X8 in and X8 out via an Audient ID4 MK2. Now these units give you the ability to expand your existing interface, similar to this one here, by an additional 8 in or 8 out or any combination thereof. If you wanted to add 8 additional inputs but 16 additional outputs, you could do that by buying one X8 in and two X8 outs, as long as you have 2 sets of 8 ports available on your interface. Now, to be able to get a total of 16 in and out, you can record at 44.1 or 48. If you want to go 96K, as we all should know, and if you don't know, that you're going to cut your inputs in half to be able to record at that sample rate. Now, I've used these fairly extensively so far with analog outboard gear as well as microphone preamps, and so far my observations have been quite positive. To really put into perspective some of the things when it comes to these particular units, they are moderately priced, and there are some other units out there available in a similarly priced unit, but they don't give you the ability to add just 8 in or 8 out at any given time, which I think is an advantage to this. And I think over time, people will realize the importance of that. As an example, if I wanted to be able to track a band with this ID44, which is 4 in and 4 out, I could add an additional 8 in and give myself a total of 12 inputs. And I would be able to record all of the mics and probably get, or all of the drums, I should say, and be able to get some scratch tracks from guitar and bass in this example. And so it makes it great for that. Then when I go to mixing, as an example, I can add an X8 out and give myself a total of 8 additional I/O for hardware inserts for the analog gear that I have in my studio. Really makes it a truly flexible, very flexible system. So I think the big question most people are going to have is, Barry, how does a conversion sound? So before I get into that, I want to talk about the fact that comparing these, as an example, to a similarly priced interface would not be fair. I'm talking about price to price. That simply wouldn't be fair, because basically all that's in this unit are the digital conversion, and ultimately some balanced inputs or outputs depending on which unit you get, and an ADAT port. So there's not a lot of internal aspects to these other than just conversion. So if you were trying to compare these, I would compare them against an interface probably 3 times their cost by the time you add in additional mic preamps, additional features, different types of digital I/O, whether it be SPDIF, analog, MADI, Dante, whatever it may come. Maybe those last 2 aren't really appropriate in that particular price range, and that would be fair. But you're just basically paying for conversion in these. And so I've used this alongside my RME UFX Plus, that also has a Pulse 16 connected to that. And I've used them with the Audient ID44. And here's what I can tell you. I tried to listen for things that I thought were kind of just about anybody would be able to pick out and notice a difference in quality of conversion. I tried very hard to do that because I almost wanted to find some fault in the conversion because to me, these things are kind of too good to be true, and there had to be some limitations. Well, I didn't find that. I could not notice any distinguishable difference in utilizing these along with either one of those other boxes. Now, are there other interfaces that are much better in conversion? Absolutely there are, but you're pricing yourself way outside of these things. So a person has to be realistic in their expectations. You can go out and you can look at all the specs and you can geek out to your heart's content. I don't give that kind of stuff the time of day. Ultimately, my ears are going to tell me what I need to hear. I don't care what specs it is, because a lot of audio manufacturers can present their specs in a way that make their units look somewhat better than they really are. So rarely are you in a true apples to apples. But if some of you guys are going to want to go out there and nerd out on that, go ahead and enjoy yourself if that's your thing. It is not my thing. I just listen to it. What does it sound like? Does it sound great or does it not? Do I feel like this is taking away from the overall tone and sound quality of my music, or is it sustaining it, or possibly even improving it? Depending on what recording interface you're going to use, this will be an upgrade. For others, it will be very similar. For super top end, it's probably going to fall a little bit short. But then again, the price range, you have to be realistic in your expectation of these things. So these things are as simple as you can imagine to be able to connect up. I did do a separate video that I'll put a link down below where I basically wired all of these together using the X8 in and the X8 out. So for those of you who may not be familiar with exactly how that's done and what you need to be able to do that, I encourage you to check on that link down below. Go back and watch that. And it should be able to paint a very good picture for you as far as if you were to buy these, how you would connect that up, or quite honestly, if you just wanted to connect up hardware interfaces to your existing interface, assuming you have enough I/O, the same principle will apply. So if you're curious how to do that, check that video out. Now, this past weekend, I began testing a few things. I've had the Stam Audio SA78, which is a reproduction of the famous Uri 1178, and I've been using it as a mastering compressor alongside my West Audio mastering EQ, and then of course the Big 6, and I'm getting outstanding results. So look forward to that coming up shortly. There will be independent reviews of each one of these coming up, but also one video will show them all in combination, and you can see how they all work, kind of tongue and groove together to be able to really get some great results in mastering. There's always something better. There's always something worse. You just have to put it into perspective within its price range and its target market. Where does it lie within that? And I can tell you honestly that I believe both of these units meet that criteria. Now, for the record, Arturia Audio did send these to me, and I do get to keep them, as I get with a lot of gear that's sent to me. Not all, but a lot of gear I get to keep. Ultimately, these are going to remain in my studio, if that tells you anything. I could use an additional 8 IL to avoid having to patch certain things as frequently, because right now I've got a 26 IO, and I could go up another 8 and have everything here in the studio hardwired connect directly to my interface, okay? And so I am going to keep these. I've been very, very happy with them. I found the clocking to be outstanding on them. I found the ease of connections to be outstanding. I have these currently clocked to the ID44 as well as my RME interface via ADAT, so I get my clock via ADAT. They do have word clock on them. If that's a choice you want to take, you have that option as well. I truly believe, in all seriousness, these are worth the price that they charge. There's no question to me. As an example, had they asked for these to be returned, I would have bought replacements. I've had other positive experience with Arturia Audio's interfaces. I did the 16 rig not too long ago, and I found that to be very well made. The conversion on it very good. They are a relatively newcomer in the big scheme of things to this, but so far from everything I can tell, they do a fantastic job, and I've been very happy with the products they've sent me so far to take a look at, and they've all been a pleasure to use. I wanted to be able to find some fault in these, but these are a relatively very simple tool to add on. It's just adding the conversion and the I/O. It really is. As long as it syncs properly with the clock, that's obviously very, very, very important. As long as I get that, as well as solid conversion, what else am I going to look for? The build quality is solid. They're all made out of aluminum. The connectors on the back are solid. If you are going to go this route, I would probably, if I was connecting various pieces and I had more pieces than 8 IO, you'd want to get yourself a Patchbay and be able to plug those in and connect those any way you want. And I do have videos out there on how to set up and properly set up and utilize a Patchbay. I'll put a link to that down below as well, and you can check that out. So keep in mind when you're looking, if you're considering buying this or any other of this gear that you see me do reviews on, I have a relationship with Sweetwater where I can deal with a company that never tells me what to say, never even implies what to say. I'm part of their affiliate program. And all that means basically, if you want to support me in this channel, and I truly appreciate it when you do that, there are links down below that you can go on and click that link, and you can buy anything from a set of strings to your heart's content, as much money as you've got in your wallet. And ultimately, I'll get a small piece of that, and that's a way for you to support this channel. But at the end of the day, feel free to go purchase from wherever you want. I also have a link down below for Tom, and if you're over across the pond, I encourage you to use that if that's a music retailer that you tend to do business with in your area of the globe. So anyway, I'd appreciate it. But if you've got another vendor you buy from that you like doing business with, then I encourage you, just go buy it from them. But I appreciate the support that you can give me in this channel so I can continue to make videos like these as well as others, because you don't make jack crap off of views off YouTube. Big misconception on that. So big thumbs up. That's all I can tell you. I couldn't find any fault with it. I tried hard, but in fairness, if you're in my situation, there's really not that much to it. So as long as you've got the clocking and the conversion down and your connectors are not garbage connectors, you're going to get a positive review. These get a positive review. So I wouldn't think twice about adding these. Like I said, if I had to send them back, I'd turn around and buy them again. So there you go. And there it is. And you can make those decisions for yourself in your studio. So do me a favor, leave me some comments down below. Tell me what you think. I don't think these are out in the wild yet, so you're not going to really probably at this point be able to share your experiences. But you know, these videos live out on YouTube forever. And so later on, once you've got them in your studio and you're using them, feel free to come back to this video and comment if you so inclined to do so. Like I said, these can be rack mounted. They come with the hardware to rack mount them, or they can just be a tabletop, as kind of similar to what you're seeing right here. So tons of flexibility, tons of options, very good conversion, very solid clocking. What else can you ask for? I don't know what else you can ask for. Considering the price, these things are one hell of a bang for the buck. So do me a favor, like, subscribe, notify, all that crap. And until next time, I hope you all have a great day. Go make some music, bring some joy to yourself, bring some joy to other people, but just create. And if you listen to it, it's garbage, and start again and do another one. Until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.